The Rode VideoMic Pro is a fantastic addition to any on-the-go creator kit. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and listen, as much as I bitch and moan about reboots and everything else, I fully understand that I am part of the problem. I go see them, I go see all the sequels, I watch all these cinematic universes, I want more cinematic universes, I champion certain sequels. I get it, I'm part of the problem, but sometimes you still have to question why certain things are done. Now, I'm generally a positive person when it comes to movies and even reboots. I'll wait to see what it looks like before getting on the yay or nay train. But this one, God, I don't even know. I'm trying to like look at the positive side of this, but I'm not. So Cannonball Run, which was a great Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise comedy from the early 1980s, I think 1981. Jackie Chan's, I mean, everyone was in it. Everyone was in Cannonball Run. It was a great film about a cross-country race. Whoever gets there first wins, and everyone will try every dirty trick in the book in order to get their opponents taken out and get ahead. It almost felt like Death Race, but without the violence and kills, and it was just hysterical. Cannonball 2, not so much. I understand why Cannonball 2 tanked. I'd rather see a Cannonball 3 than a Cannonball remake, but I understand why they want to do it. So basically, they're going to remake it. They're just going to remake Cannonball Run. But they got an interesting director, and the screenwriters I actually quite like. So originally, while in the process of talking about rebooting this, they were going to go with Ethan Coen, who co-wrote Tropic Thunder, co-wrote Idiocracy, I think he wrote Men in Black 3, and he directed like Get Hard, which is Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart's movie, which I will say is extremely fucking funny. And I recommend that movie quite a bit. Now, he's a guy who I like. He's a writer who I like, who's a little bit edgier and a little bit, I think he can bring it when he wants to. And I was okay with seeing him on board as the writer-director. But now he's off the project because he's currently working on Holmes and Watson, or Watson and Holmes, which is Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. And he's writing and directing that. So, okay, cool. We'll wait to see on that one. But now it's being directed by Rawson Thurber, right? Who directed Dodgeball and We're the Millers. Both of those are truly hysterical original comedies, and I really liked both of those films quite a bit. Dodgeball kind of came out of nowhere. People still quote it today, well over 10 years later. We're the Millers, again, came out of nowhere a couple years ago. Warner Brothers didn't know what to do with that movie. They dropped it to an August release, like an end of summer release, R-rated end of summer comedy, and it ended up kicking some serious ass, and people to this day have wanted a sequel. But instead of getting a sequel from Rawson Thurber, we got Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart. Not a good movie. It wasn't very funny. It really wasn't very funny. And that might have also been the fact that the trailers showed us almost all the funny bits. While I enjoyed their chemistry, I didn't feel like the story itself really was anything to write home about. But then again, there's an unrated version that's out there that I haven't seen, so maybe that makes it funnier because it might add in all the swearing. It felt like they were trying with that movie in the final cut of that thing to make it kind of as clean as humanly possible because it came out in June of last summer. They wanted it to be popular. And the thing is, it did well. It did well to the point of, I think, where a sequel is coming. It's not needed, but okay, whatever. And so Rawson Thurber is going to be directing the new Cannonball Run. But when I said it was written by some guys that I like, that would be Thomas Lennon and Robert Ben Garant. Now, you might recognize those names as Lieutenant Jim Dangle and oh God, what's his name? I forget, from Reno 911, right? And so, Deputy Junior, I think, as well, from Reno 911. Fantastic series. If you haven't seen it, I do highly recommend it. And they also have written a couple movies. Like, they wrote the entire what's it called? The Night at the Museum franchise. They wrote that, and they even have a book out called like How to Write for Fun and Profit and How to Make $1 billion at the box office. So their movies have done very well. They've grossed lots of money. These guys are very talented and can bust out a good adventure-filled, hilarious script. Well, you know, the Night at the Museum movies, I think the third one wasn't as good as the previous two. The first and the second I thought were pretty well done. I enjoyed the story quite a bit. I didn't really care so much for the ending of the third movie, but whatever, you know, and they did good with that. So I have a feeling they might be able to kind of breathe new life into this project, because they write well for ensemble casts, because they were doing that with Reno 911. They know how to write those kind of comedies, and I think they're going to be able to pull something good here. Again, as much as I don't want to see Cannonball Run remade, because I don't feel like it needs it, the people involved in this one, if they work well together and like executives stay the shit out of it, because that's one of the biggest problems right now with Hollywood, is you can tell when something is overproduced, and when it comes to these kind of things, they don't want to lose money, so producers like freak out and then come in there and they meddle, and that gets, you know, that gets pretty messy after a while. So hopefully this will do okay, and hopefully we'll get a decent comedy out of this, but I'd rather see something original, right? Like We're the Millers and Dodgeball, and even Night at the Museum when it came out was original. I'd rather see something like that than a remake of something that is very much beloved. Because, you know, yeah, Burt Reynolds is still around, Dom DeLuise isn't. Most of the other cast that was in the movie isn't even around anymore. You know, there's no Sammy Davis Jr., no Dean Jones. I mean, Jackie Chan is still very much alive and well, and I love that man to death, you know, but it doesn't need to be redone. It doesn't need to be redone. If you want to see it redone in a comical fashion, or even more comical or absurd fashion, go look at the Robot Chicken bit where they brought in the Fast and Furious with Cannonball Run. It was a good little mashup, and it was pretty hysterical because Burt Reynolds and Tom DeLuise came back and voiced their characters. So that was fucking hysterical. This, we'll wait and see. But again, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.